I mean,
You
yeah,
fucked up.
totally true. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Ill-Informed and Petty podcast, where we venture our ill-informed and petty opinions about a variety of topics. If you thought it was the Petty and Ill-Informed podcast, you've been Mandela affected. Joining me as a blast from the past is Phil. Phil, welcome.
Greetings.
Yay,
No,
Phil.
back in the old unexplained universe days. For
I
those of
love me some Phil.
And Nikki
Hey, I'm here.
and Tom.
Hello. Hi. Nice to meet you, Phil.
Oh, good to meet you too as well.
Hey, guys.
And happy Fudgesicle Day.
Yes, we'll get to that. That is the first topic of the show tonight.
Oh, I have no idea what's going on. I'm excited.
well, basically, it's a
December 7th
farewell.
is normally Pearl Harbor Day, but it's been changed by proclamation.
Yeah. So Charles, bless his cotton little socks, he had a good run as king, but I'm afraid it's over now. This is Matilda Jones on the screen right now. She found a sword in the lake where King Arthur is said to throw away Excalibur. So, by the law of the land, she is now Queen of England.
Long may she reign.
Okay.
Long may she reign.
Good for her. I love
Queen
that.
Matilda the First. If I was more social media savvy, I could probably start a hashtag.
I can hear it now. Goodbye, Matilda Jones, though I never knew you at all.
But yeah, this is coming from the exciting news release that Phil made me aware of, that a sword has been discovered in the lake where King Arthur chucked away Excalibur. Even more, it was discovered on Bodmin Moor.
Dun,
So,
dun, dun.
there's an added twist for all of you that like your cryptids
The lady of the lake gave her the sword for protection.
against the beast.
Her first proclamation will be that everyone must wear bunny shirts.
Cupcakes and tiaras.
Cupcakes and tiaras, absolutely. It's now day. She's got some good platforms, great ideas.
Great ideas. Moving
No
forward.
debate, no more debates in Parliament. They must now text each other and take nap time after lunch.
I love
Make
that.
England great again.
Yes,
Make Britain great again.
huzzah!
Huzzah! We're all here. We're all in. So that's brilliant. Tom, what do you think?
Well, I'd follow her. I'd say God save the Queen again for her. Yeah, she looks adorable, bless her.
Well, yeah,
Fair
you
enough.
can't go wrong.
Can't go wrong.
Yeah, no,
I
they're
mean,
adorable.
look at the comparison right now. Come on. I mean, and she's got a bitchin' sword,
We don't have the same free speech laws that you do, so we have to be a little bit more careful about what we say. But
Yeah,
she is queen. I mean that is law. I mean, if Arthur was king and she's found Excalibur,
the law of the land.
so
Them's the rules.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it. We're no seditionists or anything. Don't send the Rosas after us.
yeah.
We just think she's cool and it's a fun story.
Well, yeah, exactly. It's cool, and it's so. In other news this week, Tom, if I was to ask you what the most harmless sea mammal is, what would you say?
The most harmless sea mammal.
Yes,
I
a
don't know,
mammal.
I'd probably say, even though it's the largest, a blue whale, because all it eats is plankton.
Yeah, but one nasty tail flick could do a lot of damage. Nikki, same question.
Manatee. I don't know. I'm guessing.
Ding, ding,
No,
ding,
yeah.
ding, 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 ding.
They are pretty harmless manatees. Phil, what do you think?
Well, I was going to say manatee, but Nikki, she had to steal my thunder as always.
Yeah, damn
They're
plagiarism.
gentle
Yeah.
sea cows.
The cuttlefish.
Actually,
Love
sea cows
them.
and manatees are different.
I was going to say
Whatever.
mermaids, but mermaids have this bad habit of luring men to their deaths.
That's sirens.
Yeah.
Sirens are mermaids. But I was actually, instead of manatees, which, yeah, okay, I'll give that to Nikki. They are way more docile. What do you think about seals?
Dangerous things. Horrible things, man. Not only do they eat all the salmon, we had a seal when I was a police officer in Astoria that would venture up onto the riverfront area. And one of the girls came down there and it wasn't afraid of people. And she bent down to feed it something and it attacked her and bit her.
Well, I mean,
Badly.
that's on the girl. Why would you
And then
feel
we
the
found out that bending down is a sign of aggression for a seal.
Huh.
So if you ever happen upon a seal, don't bend down,
Okay.
ignore it, and walk away.
Nikki, how do you feel about seals?
Nah, I mean, they can be, aggressive, but I don't like if I saw one, I wouldn't be afraid of it.
Yeah. Well, they have teeth.
Yes, they do. They do have teeth.
It's
I'm
like
not saying that I would go out and play with it or try to touch it, but
yeah. There was a place I used to scuba dive, and there were seals all over there, and they were playful. But now the octopus, we have the giant octopus here in the Puget Sound. They're very docile and very friendly.
I've always found octopi to be incredibly weird.
Well,
they're very smart, but they're very cool.
Tom, how do you feel about seals?
Well, I don't know much about seals in terms of aggression or anything like that. But what I do know is that one animal you need to be surprisingly cautious of, and you wouldn't think it would be much of a threat, is actually an otter. Because I read this story about this a couple of years ago, I think, about this woman who had just gone swimming. I think she was gone scuba diving or something in a lake or a river, just somewhere random in England, and suddenly she felt this massive pain coming from her foot, where an otter went absolutely crazy and repeatedly tried to bite her. And that could not have been nice at all. She had multiple bites all up and down her legs, and she was in a pretty bad way when she came out. It was not just an annoyance. She was pretty seriously hurt.
Another
that's how I go out.
Dangerous sea creature is the sea ferret. Boy, those things are mean.
Yeah. Otters are in the weasel family, Tom. You never turn your back on a weasel.
Oh, no way.
They're our second largest weasel in England. First spot, of course, goes to the badger.
I want to be honest. If an otter was within reaching distance of me, I would try to pet him.
Yeah, me too. Is that totally how I die? Is going to be trying to kill a honey badger.
Yeah, the thing is, that's how I'm probably going to die too. I'm going to see something that I feel like I should be able to pet, and then it's going to kill me in a horrible way, and I'm ready for it.
What a cute grizzly bear this is.
Grizzly bears aren't cute. They're ugly. A polar bear.
Their cubs are. Their cubs are cute.
Yeah. See, that a baby bear. That's totally.
Yeah, I would die. Yeah, I'm gonna.
Tasmanian devils as well. So adorable, but vicious.
I see in Yellowstone Park they had another gorging by a buffalo. Lady died, got trampled on, and so forth. They just don't stay away from them.
It just doesn't make any sense, does it? Like, why? Just stay away from wild animals. They are wild animals. Why? How did we get down this rabbit hole? Right, seals. Right, yes. Would it surprise you guys to know that there was at least one human fatality directly caused by a seal?
Yes. Absolutely.
Well, I was very surprised to learn that in 2003, a researcher named Kelly was, well, there's no other term for it, brutally murdered by a leopard seal.
Did she deserve it?
I have,
Like, was she touching it?
well, no, she wasn't touching it. They were actually on an expedition to count how many leopard seals they were because they were leopard seal conservationists, which is just
Oh.
another level of irony.
What's crazy is the seal was counting how many scientists were out there. Now there's one less.
Does one of my favorite YouTubers is a guy named Post 10 who does beaver dam removals in Massachusetts, somewhere in the Northeast anyway. And I like to think that after he's finished, beaver YouTubers swim up and they're like, "Oh, look what all this damage this human's done. We're going to spend all night putting this dam back together again."
Yeah. White rabbits, they're dangerous.
Dynamite, I'm told.
It's got those sharp teeth that
Got an interesting bit of trivia for you here then. What animal carries the most potent venom?
The frog?
Ooh,
Not a
yeah,
frog.
it's a dart. The beetle, isn't it?
No, it's not a beetle.
Is it a wasp
No,
or an ant?
not-
Is it an ant?
no, it's not. That's not an
blowfish?
insect.
blowfish.
It's not a sea animal.
Oh,
It's a land animal.
It's not the poisonous frog, is it?
No, it's a reptile.
Oh, okay.
Is it a dragon of some sort?
It's the 3-step snake.
Is it the hemophile lizard?
It is a snake.
Oh, is it the
The one you may not have even
coastal
heard of.
taipan?
It is a taipan, yes. It is the inland taipan from Australia, where it doesn't normally attack. It prefers to hide under rocks and stuff. But one bite from it, I've looked this up on multiple occasions.
Is that the one that they say black over yellow, you're a dead fellow, yellow
I'm not
on black, you're okay, Jack?
No,
I
that's
don't
like
know,
that's a type of, not cobra. A type of
A small snake, a little skinny thing.
yeah, I know, and it's a type of one of those, and I can't
It's a
remember the name
viper.
of it. Something like that. I don't know.
Well, this one I'm thinking of is one bite one bite can secrete enough venom to fell 2 elephants, or I think it's 100 adult men.
Wow.
See, this is evidence that there is no God.
Oh, did you know of the spiders, the Brazilian wandering spider has the most potent venom, and if you're a guy, you have to pray that it kills you, because if it doesn't, you will get an erection for 4 hours, and then you
I
will
heard that.
never get an erection ever again in your life.
I heard that
Yeah.
one.
Is that true?
Yeah,
No.
that's true.
No, it's something he just read online. It's a joke. It's like everyone's looking around for a wandering spider now. See,
There's a Brazilian wandering spider. They're
the
quite
Brazilian
big.
wandering spider.
I've got to say something on that part.
They're huge.
Sorry, guys, my kid just turned up.
Yes, the
Daniel,
bad
She
the
toned
bad
up.
kid.
What
Okay.
the bad kid? What the bad kid?
Guys,
You know, he's got 2 kids. You're the bad one. The other one's the good one.
That shut him up.
He's looking at the screen now. What did I do?
Dad, you don't love me as much as my brother?
No, I
Ain't
don't.
that the truth? Honestly,
Dun, 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 dun. We were talking about spiders, weren't we?
Yeah, wandering spiders. Hold on a minute. I can prove it exists and it's not just something I made up.
One One movie I
So,
could not stand watching was that Arachnophobia.
I love that
sucker-
movie.
Oh,
But you know,
God, man.
I was afraid of it when I was a kid, but as an adult, I just find it
What-
really
The
funny.
thing,
Yeah,
the
if
thing
you
is,
go back and rewatch it, it's great.
Yeah.
well, yeah. Now that you know where the spots are, you know what's going to happen. But when you're watching it for the first time and you see, first of all, I hate spiders. I can't stand spiders.
Hmm.
Even though in the garden I'll leave them hanging so that they eat the mosquitoes in the summer and so forth. But I just
Yeah.
I can't. If I see one in the house, these videos of people, they gently pick up these
Hmm.
big old brown
Wolf
recluse
spiders.
spiders and they carry
Oh.
them outside. Screw that.
No, if I see a brown recluse, it's dead. However,
Yeah,
wolf
I don't care.
spiders,
I don't care what kind of a spider it is.
nah.
It's dead meat. Okay.
Wolf spiders, I will pick them up and take them outside.
No.
We had one orb weaver that was right outside our door, and we bought crickets to feed it, and it survived most of the winter with us feeding it. It should have died several months before it did.
You're sick and twisted. Get that off the screen.
See, that is a Brazilian
know-
wandering spider.
Phil,
Ooh.
I used to be terrified of spiders, like to an extreme extent. And then I joined a group on Facebook called Ant-Man Hill. And basically people will send pictures of a bug and be like, what is this? And they have people that identify it. And I also have a friend who that's what he does for a living is entomology. He's an entomologist, so he's got all of these spiders and different bugs. And so just learning about, especially in America, I'm not afraid of any of these bitches because yes, if you get bit several times or are immunorepressed, a brown recluse can kill you. It can. But for the average person, one bite of a brown recluse is definitely manageable. I've been bitten by them before without going to the doctor. Several people I know have. They're not going to kill you. Black widows, generally, unless you've got an issue, are not going to kill you. They're going to make you feel sick. But for the most part in America, we're very lucky that we have very docile spiders that aren't apt to just attack for no reason. Like wolf spiders, they're going to run away from me. They don't bite unless they feel like they're being squashed or something. They want to run away. They're way more scared of you than you are of them. But once I learned more about them, do I pick up them with bare hands? No, I pick them up with nitrile gloves on just because they creep me out. But
they creep me the F out. Okay. That's
Yeah.
all there is to it.
yeah, they creep me out. But the more I learned about them, the more I was like, okay, I've always been okay with tarantulas because they're large enough that I don't know. I know what to do with. They don't feel like a bug to me, or a spider.
At
But
least I don't lose any sleep over it. Richard and I did a show that really creeped me out, and I couldn't sleep for a week after that. I kept thinking
what show?
I think he knows which one. That creeped me out. I think it creeped Richard out too. It's the one with the parasites.
Oh, God. Why'd you have to remind me of that one? That was awful.
Oh yeah.
Parasites.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about it though.
Nah.
No, I mean we had photos and everything. It was pretty creepy.
Sorry, I am back, guys. I've just managed to get.
Yeah, it's all right. We were just
Right.
emotionally traumatizing your son.
He was laughing it up. He was all in. It was all banter, and he was all over it. It was cool. I've just got to go and make him what. He has a late night snack, and we name it after what they call a small something to eat at that time of day in the movie Beverly Hills Cop, which is a late supper. Remember the scene where he sends a late supper over the road from from the restaurant in that really posh hotel he's in, and that's when he sneaks behind and shoves the banana up the tailpipe.
Yeah.
Nikki, you know that scene?
Yes.
Yeah, well, that's so we have a late supper in our house, but hopefully without bananas and exhaust pipes. So I'm going to go
Yeah.
make him a snack, and I'll be back in a couple of minutes.
It's really tough to get a banana up your tailpipe.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, you got to use a lot of lube, and it squishes a lot. You know, you kind of got to pre-open.
Okay, a little bit too much information there.
You're welcome.
Do
Just breathe and relax. It'll be okay. You know.
we have another story, Richard, other than seals and spiders? And,
Seals
and
is
the,
good.
new, and the new queen of the Greater Britain.
To be honest, Phil, I wasn't expecting you to be on, and Tom's usually taken over by now, so I only had a couple prepared.
Yeah. Also, I have a story.
Yuki's got one.
We didn't have a UAP war like we were supposed to on the 3rd, and I'm very sad about it.
Okay, we don't say
But
UAP.
I know UFO, UAP, whatever. We were supposed to be in the middle of war, right? With these guys, fighting with them, all that stuff. It didn't happen. Now I have to buy Christmas.
Okay.
I mean, I was really banking on all of
This
this.
is the first
and the
I've heard of
aliens
this.
have let me down. So, listen, you know how stupid conspiracy theories are. We were just talking about it. So supposedly there's like some statistical web bot that like throws out predictions or whatever. And it said that Trump was going to be on Joe Rogan, and 38 days after that, which was going to be December the 3rd, I think. The date was December 3rd. It was supposed to happen. We were supposed to get into a full-on war with the UAPs. However, which are coming from the ocean, according to the government. However, I'm kind of on the conspiracy theory bandwagon of what if they're not visiting? What if they're leaving?
They're just trying to get the hell out of here.
Yeah, they're just like, fuck this place, especially if they're living in our oceans. Like, we're screwing them up so much with all the vibrations and drillings that it's messing up the migratory, like it's messing up everything in the ocean. They can't communicate. So what if they're leaving?
The theory goes.
Right. So the theory goes. My thing is why not get rid of us? Because we would be like the perfect example of an invasive species.
Yeah, it always makes me laugh when you hear that term on conservation shows. People are
Right.
like, oh, this is an invasive species. Where do you get off?
Right. We're the invasive species.
No,
That's just
this
how
time
I
around.
feel. You don't think so?
This time around, we are, yeah.
Yeah, this time.
This is like George Carlin saying, "Oh, the end of the world, the end of the world." No, it's not the end of the world. It's just the end of people. You know, it's like the world's not going to end, and you know, we're like a bunch of fleas on a dog. The world will just shake us off. You know, it'll keep on going without us. Yeah.
What
Yeah,
human
people do keep
beings,
going.
if I may, what human beings don't realize is just how tiny a part of Earth's history we are. I mean, if you stretch your arms out to make a timeline from fingertip to fingertip, if you were to just get a nail file and shave off the tip of your fingernail and erase like that much, barely a millimeter from the width of your arms, you take that much of history out of Earth's history, and know us. Nope, we don't feature.
Yeah, there were roaches here before us.
There was, I mean, this. I forget how many billion
Richards
years
was
the
here
Earth old.
before us.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
I said
A million
Keith
years
Richards
is
was
nothing,
here before
you know.
us. Nothing. When you're a Lich King, we really need to think about the world we're leaving behind for him.
Well, maybe our new queen can sort it out.
I think so.
Maybe.
Long
I think
shame, may
so.
she reign.
No,
I
she'll
don't-
just, she's got an answer for everything. Chances are it's going to be, you know, chocolate brownies. I think that would work.
I think that is a great answer for most things. You can't be pissed off and press a a nuke button when your mouth is full of delicious chocolate brownie.
That's right.
Like you won't even want to.
Little chocolate
Got that-
brownie, little cup of tea, you know.
Those little chocolate serotonins. Yeah, nobody's pressing a button with serotonin running through their system. You know, it's kind of like if everybody was stoned on weed, there would be no wars. None. We would just be eating
Yeah,
Cheetos.
Yeah.
I mean,
Living
you could
our
say
lives.
that if
Yeah.
everyone had had 1.5 drinks, there'd be no wars as well.
They
If
just
everyone
need to
was
start,
nicely tipsy.
they need to start putting Valium back in the water. That's all I'm saying.
MK Ultra.
This world needs an enema. Sorry, it's been a while since I've heard that. It just came to mind.
But yeah, like what Tom was saying, it's weird when you think about it. Like, we haven't even been around as long as the Triassic era for the dinosaurs has happened yet.
Right.
And we're probably going to die before they did.
Yeah, they were around longer.
they didn't have, you know, thumbs and the
Imagine
smart
dinosaurs with
tools.
thumbs.
I
right.
mean, the basic problem, as I see it, is living in a way that would actually be sustainable for us would make us so miserable because we are so spoiled and we are just automatically used to so much, just like getting in a car and driving from A to B.
You know, I was thinking about that the other day. Continue. Sorry, I'll go
Well,
after you.
just I mean, I'm almost done.
Yeah.
Try and hold that.
Title of the sex tape.
No, we're just, you know, it would take change on such a scale to really be sustainable. You know, the world would have to calm the fuck down and slow the fuck down so much, be so much less travel, so much less transport. I mean, like,
Would
everybody-
they, or would we just have to release patents that we've kept hidden for 50 years because we want to continue how we're doing because it makes us money?
Well,
Yeah,
what's fun? What,
I would say. Yeah.
the fundamental problem is that we want too much. We're too greedy.
How
We want
many?
too-
Well, it's not just that though. It's a certain group of people that are greedy. You know, it's not us. Like I was sitting there thinking that like you have
go
that
on.
conspiracy theory that you know the Earth is flat or whatever, but on the other side of Antarctica is like a bunch of different continents. I do not believe that at all. However, 1% of the population has most of the wealth, right? These
Yeah.
guys basically have millions of slaves. The only reason why we get some crumbs and some nice things is because they want those nice things. And, you know, most of it's not affordable to us, but some of it becomes cheap enough to let us get it. But for the most part, we're just there for their pleasure. We're there building their yachts. We're there making sure that everything else is just a factor. We just get to enjoy some of the pleasantries of life. They're having us work to take care of everything else. And those pleasantries are like, you know, the pizza party at work when everybody's worked really hard and deserves a bonus, but you get a pizza party instead. You know, that's what we get. We get the equivalent of life's pizza party, while these guys get people working underneath them, slaving away, barely able to make it. They don't care. You know, it's like the CEO that died. Nobody cares. Nobody.
They're not very happy either, for the most part.
No, I mean, like the thing is,
Except Elon. He's
yeah,
pretty happy.
yeah. But he suddenly has his kid with him everywhere he goes, you know, just in case they're just often millionaires. He's got a nice little human shield.
Well, you know, he also has ideas and you know, his own goals and things that he still feels he needs to achieve.
Yeah.
And that's the key to being content in your life, is to have something, you know. It's just like the psychologists that say that human beings were meant to be more physical, you know.
Yeah.
You know, physical work, physical toil, actually makes us happier, healthier.
It does. Setting goals, even short-term goals, and achieving them is how you become happier. Like I'll be honest, like I've been in therapy for a bit, very intensive therapy. And one of the things that I learned was that little goals throughout the day, if you set them and then you do them, it actually releases like feel good chemicals in your body. You achieved a goal. I think that that's partially why we're seeing all these millionaires and billionaires like being into pedophilia and stuff. They don't have they have everything. They still need goals. They still need things that are novelty and new and interesting. And when you've had everything, there's nothing left but debauchery.
Yeah, well, yeah,
I
you know,
think.
fucking twisted.
Yeah. But yeah, I
I
mean,
wonder what it's like to chop this guy's head off. Yeah, let's find out.
yeah, I can do it. I can do it because I've got $1 million that I can, slam down to some guy who will make sure that he kidnaps someone and, and this person doesn't have a family. Or you don't even have to hire someone. If you go find a vagrant or a prostitute, the police aren't going to care. Like in Memphis, we have a bad situation where they don't go investigate most of the murders here. They're so prominent. Why should they? No one cares if another vagrant is dead or a prostitute turns up dead. That's how, what is it? The Toolbox Killers got away with it so long.
Or you could be like, George Soros and just buy up all of the district attorneys and judges.
Yeah, exactly. You could just do whatever you want. There's nothing new. There's nothing new. You've already went to every country you ever wanted to go to. You already went to every museum you ever wanted to go to. You've got the yachts, you've got the houses, you've got the beach views, you've got all the material stuff. You can just do whatever you want. And at some point, you have no more goals and you're just looking for anything new to give you any kind of rush of happiness because you've had everything.
It's like the last trip my wife and I took was to Reno. There's an old Western town there called Virginia City. And every year in the summer, they have camel races. So we went to see the camel races, and it was a lot of fun. And we stayed at a bed and breakfast. It was a great time. Flew back home, and I told her, I don't want to go anywhere anymore. We've been everywhere. We've done everything. Mexico, how many times? People this kind of crap. And I'm like, let's just go out and dig in the yard. Yeah. Yeah. And I was serious, let's go plant some flowers and stuff like that. I think we'd be a lot happier than waiting in line to get on board a plane,
Yep.
Just take care of our homestead and find new ways to improve. That's a goal.
Yeah.
It's a small goal, but a lot of satisfaction and, like building a deck and,
Yeah. Or even, like me who has major depressive disorder, like I was telling Richard earlier, like on a Monday, a lot of times on Mondays, I would just amp myself up to like clean off the kitchen bar and, whatever, just that small amount. Even just seeing it get clean is a satisfaction. And those small goals are really important in our life, because if we're just sitting like a lump on a log, we're not engaging our brain, our feelings, nothing. So, yeah.
Very true. Very true.
I don't understand. I don't understand how people can just, I used to be able to understand how people can just sit there and do nothing. But as I've gotten older, it's been harder for me to sit down for that one.
People have gotten so, zombified with their laptops and cell phones and so forth. I mean, they just zone out of life completely. That's kind of sad.
I think what's sad is we've got cell phones that contain the sum total of all human knowledge, and yet people are still incredibly stupid.
That's because we're creating them to be that way, especially in America. Our education system right now is just sad. It's really
It's
sad.
brainwashing. It is
Our
all brainwashing.
our kids don't know how to read. They weren't taught how to read phonetically. They know how to read, quote unquote, because they've seen that word so much. They've memorized what that word is. But if you give them a new word, they cannot sound it out. They don't understand phonetics. We have a major issue. All of this information is at our fingertips. Why aren't we using it? Like, we're not using it the way we should. Rather.
Yeah, there's no practicum anymore. It's we had wood shop. When I was in school, we had wood shop, and we learned practical things that we can take with us for the rest of our life. Now they don't know how to hammer a nail or screw in a screw or anything like that. I mean, I basically had to teach my kids, my two sons, how to take care of their car, how to fix things and so forth. And there's a guy down the street that discarded a large wreath, beautiful thing. And I mean, it's just full of twinkle lights and everything else. And he put it out by his mailbox, and he said, and it had a sign on it that said free. So my one son picked it up and brought it home and said, "Can you fix this?" And Silas, "Oh, he can fix anything." So I just looked at the end of the cord, and they have these fuses in the end of the cord, and they were fused. I mean, they were completely, there was a short circuit in it that fried the end. So I just snipped the end off, put a new end on, and wow, it's beautiful. Got it hanging outside now. And my wife was saying, yeah, the guy who put it out for free is probably driving by it every day, seeing it there. But, that's something that Nick learned how to do now. See here, this is the fuses and the just practical shit like that, you make like Nikki said, small gains. And there was a certain amount of satisfaction in showing my son how to do this and what the problem was and how to solve it.
I mean, there's also really good for your self-esteem if you fix stuff. I mean, even little stuff like changing the fuse on a broken plug or changing a plug socket. I remember the first time I did that, and I was like, yeah, I'm a real man.
I'm the man now. Well, my 70 years, I've managed to fix quite a few things.
Like our tree stand broke this year, so I made a new one out of wood, and I felt pretty good about that.
The old-fashioned wood tree stand.
Yeah, I was just like, yeah.
What happened
to Nikki? I think she got booted. She'll either be back or she won't.
Well, damn.
But yeah, so Will in the chat, second year homeowners. You know what we're talking about, like wallpaper. I love putting wallpaper up. It's like, I can't tell you. I hate painting, but I love putting wallpaper up. It's a lot more satisfying.
I can't stand putting wallpaper up. I can't stand it. Painting, I'm good with painting.
A lot of people say that, and I'm like, but why? It's so fun. Wish you knew more about plumbing. What do you want to know about plumbing?
I got that.
One.
Yeah, I got that.
I put a new central heating pipe in.
Yeah. Put a little flux on there and some solder in your
solder. Yeah, the whole thing.
Yeah. It's a lot of fun. That's fun. See.
Yeah, soldering stuff is fun.
Light up that butane torch and put on.
Oh no, I've got one of them guns. I don't use a torch. I got a gun.
Okay, that's cool. I like the torch because it's more satisfying.
Yeah, I can see that, but I'm as afraid of spiders as you are. That's how I feel about fire, so I like the gun better.
Yeah. And wife comes in and, how you doing, honey?
Nikki's back.
Hey,
Yeah,
sorry
yay.
about that. My whole computer just went, nah, I don't feel like
I
being
can
on
fix
right
that.
now. Yeah.
Phil could probably fix that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an Alienware laptop. It overheats
Mm.
very easily.
See, how I'd fix that is I'd make a bunch of fans.
Yeah,
Connect them up.
I have 5 fans blowing underneath it, and it still overheats.
Well,
Okay.
have you taken the back cover off of it and sucked
And
out all the
cleaned
dirt?
it. It's the first thing I did. I'm a
Ah.
nerd. I got this. It's
Mm.
just it's also like 8 years old, you know?
Okay.
It's old.
Put an SSD in it. It won't overheat.
It's a laptop though. You can't just change that out, can you?
Yeah.
Really?
See.
Yeah.
Didn't know that, did you? So-called nerd.
And
Well, I
she's a
have a new
nerd.
PC. I have a new PC. I don't really fuck with laptops very much. I have a new PC. I just haven't put it up yet. Like it's nice. It's
Well,
brand
get to
new.
work,
and
girl.
I've
Get
got a
that
lot of
thing.
stuff going on in my personal life. It's been kind of not important to me.
So you moved to Texas, did you?
No.
Oh,
All right.
I thought you said here in Texas, or maybe it was something else. You still live in Tennessee, or
Yeah, I'm still in Tennessee. Just got a lot of moving stuff that I need to take care of. And
okie dokie?
rearranging this room, yeah. It's been a fun time. I'll have to catch you up later. I've really missed you, man.
I missed you too.
We missed you so much. It's not
I
the
know.
same.
Yeah, I know.
So,
Well-
Phil, you used to do the podcast, right?
Yeah. Then was basically. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the guy, but I became rather moot because Kevin would basically had so much information and would talk for hours, so that I could not talk for hours like I normally do. So I said, well, I'm just going to bow out for a while.
Well, I'm really pleased to meet you. No, for real, man, because I've been I was roped in, I don't know how long ago. How long have I been on the team, guys? Couple of years?
Like at least,
Is it?
yeah, a couple of years, I think.
Yeah. And I love it. It's really fun, and we come up with some really interesting stuff, and I've had my thoughts on a number of things challenged. Jeremy Kyle for a start. Yeah, I love doing this. So it's we haven't had Kevin here for a little while. I don't really know why. I've heard from him here and there. He's cool. No, I do know why. It's his life, his stuff.
Yeah.
But he's doing good, and yeah, nice, man.
Well, he's a smart
Pleasure.
guy.
He is a smart guy. I love me some Kevin. He's a freaking mess. We all know that. I call Kevin a mess to his face. Adore him. Very smart.
She just say it to his face, so
Yeah.
can't take that away from her.
I'm not going to
And
say
you-
crap about anybody I wouldn't say, to
Right,
their face.
Right.
And
We
have
all know
met him-
Gabby's crazy.
Have you met him in real life, Nikki?
Who, Phil?
No,
Kevin?
Kevin.
Yeah, Richard and I met him and his person.
Right, yes.
Not
last
wife.
year.
Not wife.
Not wife. Not wife. Actually, she's engaged to me. She gave me a ring and I accepted. So
So
You
me
know.
and Kevin are both pissed off.
yeah, because they both wanted Sam too, and I just won. I know where the clit is. What can I say?
I still say it's cheating when you're a woman because, like,
So you both met Kevin in person?
Yeah,
last year,
yeah.
Where?
In Ireland.
yeah.
You
but
oh my.
Yeah.
So he was
by
back.
Belfast.
He was back visiting, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's in the process of moving back permanently.
Oh, okay. You know, he lives about a mile and a half from me.
And you guys have yet to meet in real life, huh?
Never met him.
Listen, Phil,
I have
I love
invited him.
you.
I've
ahead.
invited him over to the tiki bar for a couple of drinks, and he said, "I'll have to take you up on that." Well, he never did. So
You know what? Okay, I was about to say that we might be in the same situation, but if you invited me to the tiki bar for drinks, I would have to go.
of course,
Like you can't say no.
I
I can't
don't
say
know
no
how
to a tiki bar.
no one can say no to the tiki bar.
Right, because if you got a tiki bar, I know that you have rum.
Mm-hmm.
So we're good.
I have rum.
That's
I've
all
got
I need.
Jameson's. I've got all
Did you say
kinds of stuff.
Jameson?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I love Jameson.
yeah, yeah. Tell me about it, girl. I got tequila. I got vodka. Got all kinds of stuff.
We didn't
Today.
say Kevin this year, though.
No, we were going to meet up, Richard, weren't we? We had a plan to go walking with my dad in near Richard in the Lake District in July.
You got
But
COVID.
I came down with COVID, and so we had to call that off, which was a pain. Tried to reschedule, couldn't pull that off either. Very much hoping to go July 2025. No pressure.
Yeah, every time I catch a cold, my wife has to give me the COVID test. This is ridiculous. No, here, put this up your nose. Give me that swab. Then she runs into the bathroom. She comes back. Well, it's not COVID. I go, yeah, I know. I know what the cold is. I've had them every year since I was born.
Oh, I can't. Like, I COVID. I've had COVID twice, and it's not exactly a horrible. Well, it's not great, but it's not like the Black Death or anything.
Yeah, I did not want to take the jab. I did not. And my wife says, "You're going to take the jab. You're going to get the shot." So we were like one of the first ones to go, and it was the one where you take the shot, and then a month later you have to follow-up shot, and then you're good, supposedly. I even asked the doctor when I was there, I said, so I can't catch it if I get the shot. And he goes, no, can't catch it. No. And
That's
everyone in my
a little
family took,
malarkey.
everyone in my family took the shot. I'm the only one in my family who didn't have COVID. My two sons have had it. They're in the medical field. They've had it. Nick, he's had it twice. I'm like, yeah, that shot really works.
Yeah.
I keep waiting. I just keep waiting for myself to grow like a third eye or another arm or something.
Yeah, I didn't want it either. You had to have it in England. Like they were issuing travel papers and everything.
Yeah, I know.
So-
They were firing people from their jobs here if you didn't have it.
Yep, that's how they did with us. We lost several techs because my practice decided that you had to have your COVID vaccine, and they were like, nope. So they dipped
Yeah,
out. And
I
then
didn't-
once my job realized how many people were not willing to get it, they just went, okay, never mind. It's not a
Yeah.
requirement.
We just took a step back to the dark ages when, the Pope had to dictate how you're going to live your life. And that's the same thing that's happening now.
Now,
Well, Phil. Well, actually, here's a bit of interesting American history trivia for you. Did you know that during the War of Independence, General Washington mandated smallpox vaccinations for all of his troops?
yes, he did.
Yeah.
And they were old school inoculations.
Well, the military has a function, and every person that's in the military is basically a ward of the government. So they have to protect that interest, and anything goes. When I was in the Coast Guard, went to basic training, I had 5 inoculations. This is during the Vietnam War, if in case you had to go overseas, well, you had to have these inoculations. So they gave us like 5 different inoculations all at the same time.
Yep. And y'all didn't die. Imagine that. It's crazy.
But it's
And-
like, yeah,
And
you're
y'all
awarded
didn't
the government-
suddenly develop autism. Nuts.
Yeah, well, you know, we own you. I mean, when you're in the military, they basically
Oh, they do. Like some of the
your
vaccinations, quote
ass.
unquote. Yeah, some of the vaccinations they
for it.
quote unquote gave you weren't vaccinations.
The like I didn't agree with mandatory vaccinations about the COVID thing because they had
No.
been developing that thing for less
Mm-mm.
than 2 years. What
That's
the hell
right.
did they know about the long term?
They didn't.
What are old school inoculations? They'd take scabs from people with smallpox, cut you, and press the scabs
press
on
it in
them.
there? Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
And then but then your body has to take over and make the antibodies.
Well, it gives
Yep.
your body the blueprints for the antibodies as well as the virus itself. So they'd
Yeah,
get sick
old
for like a
school
week.
inoculations was literally just giving you a small threshold of that virus.
With the antibodies as well.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing. Like, it's one of those things that I don't understand how they came up with it. Do you know what I mean? Like bronze. I cannot figure out how somebody figured out bronze unless somebody was literally just melting different shit together.
That's it. It's it's
So what is-
try and fail and try and fail. You know, come up with something
What's-
different.
What is bronze made of then?
Copper and tin.
Again, yeah.
Yep.
Right. Well, why is it so hard to believe that some people with rudimentary smelting? You know?
Do you know
Well,
what rudimentary smelting was like, Tom?
No, not really. Tell me.
It was a lot of work. You had to build like these big stone kiln things and then stack it with tons of coal and get it as hot as possible to melt like one piece of copper. And the idea that they'd do that for like copper and tin and then go through all of that and then mix it together. I just don't have the right brain for that.
Well, I mean, it's just like when you had to blow on it to get it hot enough, and somebody decided, I don't want to blow on this thing anymore. Let's grab this sheepskin and put some handles on it, and we'll pump it, and it'll blow for us. That's a bellows.
Well, yeah, but like, there's a logic to that.
Well, yeah. Well, that's the whole thing, though. I mean, you go down to the Yucatan and you look at all the stonework, and people, the ancient alien folks is, how could they possibly have had, the knowledge and the know-how to work with these stones and carve these? Well, they've had thousands of years to develop it. I mean, they just didn't all of a sudden decide, oh, well, let's go ahead and carve these stones. No, they started out with, little piece of arrowheads from, napping off chunks of rock, and then it just grew from there. This natural progression.
Right, but there's a logic to it. You can see how they got there. You can see that they went, okay, blowing on stuff makes it cooler. So if we design something that blows faster, we'll get it cooler faster. Or, bellows, blowing on fire makes it hotter. We we just invent something. And like, I get steel. We know how steel was invented because it's documented. Japanese used to wrap their iron swords in charcoal, and Vikings used to put bones in iron. So we've got carbon steel and regular steel. There's a logic there, but the Bronze Age.
How did they come up with the antibodies? Is basically what you're saying, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those. I can't see the logic behind it. Where someone was like, "Hang on a minute, let's start shoving scabs on people. Maybe that might help."
Well, it couldn't hurt.
Hmm.
Well, it's just like bleeding. Yeah, let's try to bleed the stuff out of them. Well, that didn't work.
Right. You
It
should
ended up
try
killing them from
cocaine
loss of
for it.
blood. Well, it's on to the next thing then.
Bloodletting.
Yeah.
Cocaine and tapeworms. Available at Rexall Drugs.
Leeches. That's one of my favorite episodes to this day.
You can't beat the Rexall Drug episode. That was
It is my favorite episode
I tell you what,
ever.
we referenced the tapeworms and the cocaine a lot, but my favorite thing was that was the electric bath. That's
Yeah. Mine was the what was it? Radiation infused, like something or other.
just-
Was it a
Everything.
Yeah, everything had
They
radiation in it.
they just had discovered radioactivity, and they decided to put it into just about every product they could think of. You know how to get an erection? Well, here's a radioactive. Lube.
This
Yeah.
worked well for you.
I
Can
think
you
I know-
imagine? Can you imagine the modern day TV commercials for Rexall Drugs thing? Warning: this product may cause cancer, nausea, headaches, and hair loss.
And anal leakage. Don't forget
And-
about the anal
and anal
leakage.
leakage.
There was
So what could have happened though, Richard, is maybe there was somebody that had the open sores or whatever, and there were mosquitoes in the room, and the
Hmm.
mosquitoes were feeding off of them, and then somebody else came in and was getting sick and were bitten by the mosquitoes that had bitten the one who was already infected, and he got better, and they figured must be the mosquitoes. Why? Well, that's because there you go. It could have been just
Speaking of,
transferred.
That's true. It's true.
it's just,
I mean,
you
they were
triggered
trying
a-
all sorts of stuff back then, you know. It was back in the day of alchemy. And medical practice was super practice. Like we didn't know shit about shit.
Just like with COVID vaccines.
Hey, did it work? We don't know.
I have no idea.
Don't
it
know
didn't
yet.
work. You know, it didn't work for my sons. I mean, it's like they still got it.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
it's
I've had
all-
it. I've had it 3 times. I work in healthcare though.
Yeah. Well, my 2 sons work in healthcare. In fact, my
Yeah.
oldest son right now is in the nursing program.
Yeah, you can't base that on those facts. If you work in healthcare, you're gonna get COVID.
You're gonna get it, right?
You're gonna get it.
Even though they said no, you can't get it, but then they changed their mind and said, well, you
Yeah.
can get it. It just protects you from dying from it, supposedly.
Okay, so Gabby just sent me something that just raises more questions.
The first question is, who's Gabby?
Gabby,
What?
one of the show's deranged superfan.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
our mascot.
Oh, I remember Gabby. Yeah.
But she said, I remember this Edward Jenner who came up with the smallpox vaccine, and the smallpox vaccine was giving them cowpox because, you know, if you survive cowpox, you'd be immune to smallpox. But that's not the same thing, and that was in the 1800s, Gabby.
Right.
And the
right.
War of Independence was in 1776. You know, and
There was a mini series called John Adams where they actually showed someone in the back of a wagon with open sores, and the doctor had to take a sample from them and take it into John Adams' house to treat their daughter. So yeah, it was very it was very eye-opening for me. I said, what the hell is he doing? You know. By the way, that's an excellent miniseries. If you've never seen John Adams, you got to watch it.
Okay. I haven't.
Oh yeah,
I've never heard of John Adams.
yeah, it's a
I've heard of John Adams, but I haven't.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that.
yeah. The miniseries is really really great, and addresses the War of Independence and all that, and how it all came about and everything. So,
What's it on? What streaming service did you say? it was on?
well, this is years ago. So I imagine if you just go on Google and just
Mhm.
Google it, and just hit videos, and they'll have the whole series there for you to watch somewhere.
Nice. Okay.
And
Cool. Thanks.
and it has the coolest intro, and the music is superb. I mean,
Okay.
it's just. I mean, I love hearing it every time it came on. Oh, I got to hear it, But anyway, well done, and to fight the bloody British.
Those damn
We'd get even
colonizers.
in 46 years, so I hold on to that.
Yeah, but you're of the opinion that just because you burned down a house, you won the War of 1812.
We did win the War of 1812.
No, you didn't win the War of
An
1812.
actual war, and we
No.
didn't burn down one house. We torched your capital city. Okay.
Yeah, they're just buildings. It's not the government.
And we caught your president out of position. Interesting. I recently found out as well. This is also interesting that the War of 1812 is the most famous example of the Third Amendment being enforced.
Okay.
Which, I found that very interesting, even though the Third Amendment wouldn't exist for 40 years, but still pretty
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, it's that's a little different.
Well, just it's one of them.
It's one of them.
You just
Yeah.
hold on to that thought there, Richard.
Well, is it like what's his
yeah.
fake? Who was
Okay.
the president? It was Madison, wasn't it? He
Yeah.
was the president.
Yeah.
And
All
He was
saved the whole nation.
and he was marching his troops back from where he thought the British would land, but they didn't. They went up the Potomac and kicked your ass. But he was marching his troops back, and no one would give him and his soldiers shelter because, no one in America wanted the War of 1812.
And then Colonel Jackson went down the Mississippi and kicked some royal red ass.
Right.
You hold on to that. You hold on to that, Richard.
Yeah, whatever. We won.
No, I'm far too jaded with international politics to feel at all precious about jokes being made about the collapse of the British Empire. I don't
It's
know.
it's a time for celebration.
I don't want
if
to hear
you've
any
read
of
it
that.
right now, Tom. We've got a 7-year-old is now queen, and Kermit the Frog is prime minister. So everything's going well for us, as far as I'm
It's
concerned.
going very good right now for you guys.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Can't complain.
You're like, I'll take it.
God save the Queen.
Long may she reign.
Oh yeah.
Are we allowed to say "not my king," or will we get in trouble?
I won't get in
After you,
trouble.
Richard. After
Yeah,
you,
I can
following
say
your
it.
lead.
Not my king. Not my king.
Yeah, you can say it. I can't.
Aw.
Not much better over here. Oh, come on, Will. You've got Biden for another few months, and then Trump.
Oh, yeah. Those are just so good for us. Both
Yeah,
of
we got Biden
So-
for another 32 days or whatever it is.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, he went. I
Nicky,
can't remember what trip he took. He was overseas and fell asleep during the. It just
So I can't believe we've almost finished on the show, probably, but I haven't asked Nikki, Phil, what do you make of
What
Biden pardoning his son?
do I make of what?
Oh,
Biden
Biden
giving
pardoning
his
his
son
son.
Full pardon.
We weren't
Oh, the pardon?
surprised. Is anybody surprised? Are you surprised, Phil? Were you surprised?
Up and down. He wasn't going to pardon his son.
Yeah. Are
Hey,
you surprised
no,
that he
it-
pardoned his son? Are you surprised?
No, I'm not surprised.
Yeah, absolutely not. None of all we all knew that was going to happen.
Sure.
He could say that he wasn't going to do it, but I mean, and
I'd
anybody,
pardon my son if I was president. Just saying.
Besides-
I mean, go ahead.
I was going to say, now it gives Trump carte blanche. He can go ahead and pardon the J6 people now.
Well, but
Yeah.
also, I mean, he pardoned one of the people that he's trying to put in cabinet for money law, it was a federal money crime, scamming or
yeah, he
some
did, yeah.
bullshit like that, and I can't
Yep.
remember who it
Yeah.
was. I mean, but
It's
it
like
always
John
happens.
Edwards, is it?
I mean, are they really going to use their pardon for something benevolent when they have people that make them money or mean something to them in jail? Of course they're going to do that.
I think it depends on their rationale and their motives. Just like anything
Exactly.
else.
Yeah, because like, listen, everybody knows that our politicians are garbage. Like, we knew he was going to do it. He promised he wasn't, but we all knew he was full of shit. Like, we're not dumb.
Yeah.
Well, back in 2020, there was sure a lot of dumb people.
Yeah.
Well, anyone who says
But
politicians
Before-
are all the same can't really argue with them when things like this happen.
Before
well,
we
I mean,
wrap
like,
this up,
go ahead.
I have one last question to ask y'all, and it's an important one.
Y'all.
Given-
you can-
Given that Trump is the president-elect and going to be the president for the next 4 years, is he finally going to do the right thing and pardon Joe Exotic?
Absolutely not. Well, he might. He might actually. I could see him doing that. I legit could.
Yeah, he might. He just might. You never can
He
tell.
just might. You never know.
Yeah,
He's a wild card. Like, you really don't know what you're gonna get.
It's like, people that they're really into the politics. Just they weren't ready for an outsider to come in and actually do shit.
We just, I want a season 2 of Tiger King in 2025.
Yeah, but that means that we're gonna need another pandemic, and that's gonna make me sad. I'll settle for another pandemic with an extra long mini series of Did He Do It? Made by 50 Cent.
I'd settle for another pandemic as long as it was real. Know what I mean?
The other pandemic wasn't real.
Just
You want it
saying,
to be a real.
I want a
like,
real pandemic,
you want dead people in the streets.
Yeah.
Like, you
Rats.
want the stand level.
looters. Yeah,
The Black Plague.
yeah. I want the bubonic plague to come back, even though it's totally still around and 2 people die a year from it.
Do you
Thus
know what
saith
burning
Mad
flesh
King
smells
Richard.
like? Do you know? Because you don't want it. I mean, like, it's not the
Yes,
most
Nikki.
horrible thing in the world.
It smells like victory.
Smells like nothing beats smell of the, victory and the plague in the morning. Just burning the bodies.
And there in the castle in Bodmin Moor is Mad King Richard the Cruel, standing alone with his sword raised high and all that crap.
I don't want to stay. Like, if another pandemic comes, I can't travel. And that's just what I plan on doing for the next several years. If there's a pandemic, I can't travel. I don't want to do that. That would suck. However, I'm
I don't
pretty
wanna
sure
travel now.
that I traveled with a man who had the plague on my way to Dublin this year. Because that man, like, even his wife, who was across the aisle, was leaning forward in her seat, like, just dead gazing his ass, trying to get his attention because he was legitimately, like, coughing all over me. It was so disgusting.
I remember you said when you got off the you were so pissed.
He had a mask. He literally had a mask down underneath his chin. Like, I'm sorry. It's not a COVID thing. I'm not afraid of you getting me sick, right? But
Yeah.
as an adult and a human being, have like a modicum of of consideration. And if you are dying and coughing so hard you're gagging and literally wiping your nose with your fingers and then wiping the snot on your jeans, like, put the fucking mask up. That's all I'm asking.
Well,
Just
that's what happens when you visit
your mask-
Rexall.
I was so angry because I was like, I better not be sick. I just spent like $2,000 on this trip. And if I'm sick for the whole thing, I'm going to be pissed. I got a wedding to go to. You know? Yeah. That is correct, Will. We live in a society. We're trying to have a society here. Cover your mouth. Cough into your elbow. Cough into your fist. Cough into literally anything. Your shirt.
Or a cough on
But-
Nikki.
Don't cough on me. Like, put your mask up. It's literally like you just move, it about 3 inches up. Good enough.
That must have been something. Hey there, baby. How you
It was so hard for me not to say anything.
I'm
but-
surprised you didn't. I
Uh,
mean, at least a hey dude, something.
I just looked at him like he had lost his fucking mind. And I literally was like leaned out into the aisle, just trying to stay far away from him. Covered my head with a blanket, just keep that viral load that way. I didn't know what he had.
Yeah. Well, I'm not flying. I'm not flying anymore. I flew enough in my life. I'm not doing that shtick anymore.
Well, this is how you fly as an adult because it really sucks. You take a crap ton of gummies before you get on the plane,
Uh-huh.
and then you sleep the entire flight, and then you wake up. You're not stiff, nothing, because you've been in a coma for the past 7 hours.
Gotta love them edibles.
Yeah. And then my flight to Dublin, like my actual long flight, I had the entire row to myself. So I just stuck in my earbuds, listened to true crime, and slept the entire way.
Yeah, that's
But-
because no one in the right mind goes to Ireland.
Yeah. It's so beautiful there though, man.
It's
It's
green.
so beautiful. It's so green.
Yeah, it's green. If you
It's
love
so-
green,
Yeah, if you love different shades of green and like beautiful patchwork across the ground, you're gonna love Ireland. And then there's some cliffs and
or like
some
me,
rock.
have a fetish for redheads.
Yeah, you know what? I don't see a lot of. I haven't seen a lot of redheads when I've been around there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No more purebloods.
yeah,
They're all
yeah.
bastards now.
Well, I've seen a couple males, but I haven't seen a lot of female redheads there. I mean,
Okie
that,
dokie, Richard.
I don't know. Yeah, Richard,
What?
you
I
want
don't
to
know.
close this out, man? Like it's
Oh,
been an hour
I was-
12.
Yeah, I know, but you guys were talking. I was letting you.
Yeah.
Well, okay. I don't know. We're just
okay.
talking about, bastard Irish.
Bolshevik. Yeah.
All right. Well, that'll wrap us up for this week. We will return next week, despite the hopes of many. It's good night from me, and it's good night from them. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Ta-ta.
Cheers, everyone.